So first and foremost, should people be doing a bit more to actually speak out against this Qatari World Cup? Or do we just have to accept this happening?
Well, I think they might do a bit more. I think we may be a bit, expecting a bit too much too soon. When the games actually start, maybe some of the players will be motivated by their own conscience and do something. We don't know yet. We know that teams as a collectivity are probably not going to do very much because they'll do what they're told to do by FIFA. But the players themselves, they can't be completely controlled. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, indeed. Right, I'm going to lob it over to you now, Rachel, and just discuss essentially the players themselves. So as a football agent, is it always going to be easier for players to just keep quiet?
Yes, it's easier, much easier. And generally they do. It's very difficult for them because, they are governed by FIFA, by the FA, and it's really for the country to decide, not individual players. One could argue that politics should stay out of things. Sport is such a big stadium, though. It's an opportunity for people to do something.
Well, it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky, Rachel. I'll sit with you for a second, Rachel, because it is difficult, isn't it? Because you've got the likes of Gary Neville, for example, who is actively getting involved in politics. Marcus Rashford actively got involved in politics. Every single not every single footballer, most footballers, before the start of every single game, take the knee, right? Yeah. And yet here we are going to go and play in Qatar, where gay people can be executed, women have next to no rights whatsoever, and we're playing in stadiums built by slaves. But we won't be taking a knee for that, will we? Harry Kane will just wear a rainbow-coloured armband. Rachel, I think that's a bit pants.
I think it's pants too, but it is what it is, and it should be the country themselves. The thing is, when they take the knee, that's everybody's doing, or 99.9% of people are doing that. And it's very hard for an individual player to stand up. Dealing with politics at home is slightly safer. Not many people would want to stand up and go against the country that's hosting them.
Yeah, Alice, I mean, should we even really be having a World Cup in Qatar?
A bit late for that, Patrick, at this stage. I agree to a certain extent with Rachel that the teams, the nations are responsible, but I don't think we should remove completely the responsibility from individual players. If they are motivated to such an extent that they are appalled by the human rights record of this country, where they're having to play, they could withdraw their services, or they could try to contrive some kind of protest on an individual basis. For example, over 6,000 people, migrant workers, have lost their lives in building the stadiums for this World Cup. What about if an individual player decided to have emblazoned across his shirt the name of one of the dead people? That would cause significant interest. It would be publicized around the world. It would be the biggest story of the day. And it's a minor protest, but would have major consequences. Now, the player will probably be disciplined either by the Football Association or by FIFA or by both. So what? That's the kind of thing I'm thinking of. Naomi Osaka, the tennis player, is very clever at doing these kind of things. She got to the semi-final of a tournament in New York a couple of years ago and just withdrew and said, I'm not playing in this semi-final. The whole tournament came to a halt. And she made her protest about the murder of an individual. It was a couple of years ago. So that there are ways in which players can cleverly make their protests, but in a way that makes the world take notice.
Yeah, and well, go on. I'll let you go. I can see you're itching to get involved there, Rachel. Go on. What were you going to say?
Well, only because it's a lot easier for one individual. You're not in a team game. For one player to stand and flash his shirt and say, "This is terrible," and he'll be disciplined. He'll probably be sent off. and the rest of the team suffers. And it is much easier for an individual, one.
Why would they be sent off? Why would they be sent off?
Well, if they definitely could be. They could be booked, and
they're not contravening the rules of the game.
For dissent, they could class it as dissent.
Dissent for wearing a name on your shirt?
Afterwards. You can argue about it afterwards, but
yes.
Players.
You can argue about it right now if you want.
And then it's too late.
Ah, okay. Right, okay. I mean, go on. I'll tell you what. I almost don't want to get involved in this. This is fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'm going to throw it back. I'm going to throw it back over to you, Alice. I can see that you're also itching to get involved. What's going on?
Well, I mean, obviously, like any concerned and responsibly minded person, I am concerned and unsettled by what goes on in Qatar. And I personally do not think it's a good choice to be a host country for a World Cup. On the other hand, the decision has been made. England have pledged themselves to it and will go. They've also said that the captain, Harry Kane, will wear a One Love armband. Or rather, I should correct myself, he has said he wants to wear it. What's going to happen here is that Qatar will get upset about this and say, this is deliberately designed to embarrass us. They'll get in touch with FIFA and say, tell England they can't wear the armband. And then it's up to Harry Kane. Whether he wears that armband or not is...
Yeah, but the big losing... Look, players are players. I mean, look, if I was blessed with the gift of being a fantastic footballer, I, too, would also want to go to the World Cup if I was picked for my country.
But would you want to use it for a political and social purpose?
Oh, no, I wouldn't take the knee and I wouldn't wear a rainbow-coloured armband because that's none of my business.
OK, but Harry Kane might.
What, sorry?
He won't.
But Harry Kane might.
Yeah, Harry Kane can do what he wants. I'm just saying I personally would not do it, but there we go. Rachel, aren't the biggest losers in all of this the fans? I mean, I've got friends who are going to the Qatar World Cup. A couple of them are gay. They just have to stop being gay when they land in Qatar, don't they?
Yes, they certainly do, along with all the other gay people that are already there, but that's beside the point. It's just, yes, the fans could boycott it. I mean, it shouldn't just be down to the players. This is much bigger than that. It should have been FIFA. It should have been the FA, without question. And to now leave it, all the attention will be on what the players don't do there, rather than what the FA and FIFA and the government should have done.
Well, what should they have done?
Go on.
We shouldn't have had it in Qatar. We should have said that we won't go when we realised, or we already knew, the terrible.
So do you think do you think that we should not have gone to? Do you think that England should have pulled out of the World Cup then, Rachel?
Personally, I do. It's just my opinion. Right. I do, because it's beyond.
That could have
you are a football agent, right? You are a football.
It's not too late.
Yeah, this is it. You are a football agent. So would you be advising any of your clients, or whatever you want to call them, to make a stand and not go? I mean, Marcus Rashford cares a lot about hungry children. Doesn't seem to care too much about human rights, does he?
Well, I mean, he's dealing with something that he sees here and day to day, and he's done an enormous amount of good for that. But
we don't know. He may.
It's my opinion that they should go. The player
may genuinely care about human rights in the broadest sense.
I'm sure Marcus
for us.
Okay, I'm sure. For the sake of balance, I'm sure Marcus Rashford has a healthy interest in human rights. There we go. Thank you very much. Right, okay, both of you.
Of course he does, but it's different. Doing something at home, which he did, which was absolutely amazing. But to expect a single player to be in a country like Qatar and go against not only the country, which would be wonderful if everybody did, if a lot of teams pulled out.
This is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing. This is the thing, which is that we talk all the time about not wanting to let politics get involved in sports and stuff, and then
it is in sport, Patrick.
Well, this is it, right? It is, right? And then now, and you can't avoid it because now we're playing a football tournament in Qatar, so,
and it will get more political. We live in a different world from the Chariots of Fire days.
We do indeed, yes. In fact, they even play football on Sundays now, but there we go.